Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Gregory. This is 1 in 20 D&D, and this here is a quick, fun little one-shot that I ran for some friends, Courtney, Morgan, Cy, and Alex. And they were in the kingdom of Agick and just did a silly, fun little adventure. And, well, they all decided that they would play uh, small races. So, halfling, dwarf, gnome, so forth. So, without further ado, let me introduce to you the short stacks. Alright, so welcome to a one shot in the Kingdom of Agick. We're getting ready to go here and start things off with a couple of bits of detail. So you'll see your tokens in front of you. When you click on your token, you will see three bubbles pop up to the top: red, green, and blue. Red is your hit points, current hit points. Green is your passive perception. That's for me, so I can quickly check it. And blue is your armor class, again, for me, so I can quickly check it without needing to necessarily ask you during the game. The red bar on the top of the tokens will indicate the amount of hit points you have out of your total. So if you're down to half of your hit points, the bar will be half full, etc. So it's a good way to kind of keep track of each other and how well or poorly you're doing. You will not see the bars on your opponents, but if you would like to know, ask and I will give you a description. Let's see, what else do we want to talk about? The tokens, again, you can click and drag and move them around. Each square represents 5 feet. So you all technically, let's see, none of you are halflings, right? You're all dwarves?
I am.
You are a halfling. Okay, so you
We
are
have a halfling,
technically
a gnome, and 2 dwarves.
small. All right, so we're going to do
I'm a dwarf. Oh.
this.
Dwarf.
We're going to do this because you're technically teeny tiny. So now you are
Yay.
teeny tiny. And that
And
should
then
still work.
Sai's a gnome, so she's also teeny tiny.
Sai is a gnome.
Super tiny.
Okay, so you're both teeny tiny. Let's make you both teeny
Team
tiny.
teeny tiny.
Yeah, I'm
2'9".
All right. So Sai and all right. So you're both tinies. Now we can see how small you are. You click and drag and move it around. There are some modifiers. We're not going to worry too much about that during this game. Like if you get blinded or something, I might click on and put you like where is a good one for blinded? Oh, I don't know. Probably this one here, the bleeding eye. If you're entrapped or restrained, we might put a net on you or something like that.
Oh no!
So we might use some of those if they come in handy. For now, don't worry about those. Basically, this is going to be somewhat, or not quite theater of the mind, because we're going to use a little bit of a map, but we're just going to wing it and see what happens. So we're going to say you are all young adventurers and have come together for one reason or another. Perhaps we even say you bump into each other all, oddly enough, walking into this tavern all at the same time. And you can introduce yourselves to each other in the sense of like a description. What does your character look like, carrying, and so forth. So we get a quick sense of who we're playing with. I'm Gregory. I'm your DM. Hello.
Hi, Gregory. I'm Morgan. I'm playing Brawlwyn Duskforged, a hill dwarf cleric of Helm, and she's 4'2", stout, I guess. Dark brown hair, light brown skin with hazel eyes. Yeah, and she looks ready for anything.
Fabulous. Who wants to go next?
I am Alex, and I am playing Teclin Leafybeard, the druid. He is about 4 or 5. You're not entirely sure about his skin tone. It looks darker brown, but you're not sure if that's his skin or mud on him. As you gloss over his beard, it too appears either brown or severely mudded, and lots of leaves in there. Yeah.
Awesome.
Does not seem perturbed by the amount of nature currently on him.
I am playing Bubo, a halfling bard, and she is carrying her schwam with her as she is walking into this fine establishment. She is a fiery redhead and will be the first to call you on your bullshes. She's a little bit of a hothead, and really enjoys sarcastic banter.
Sweet.
I am playing Stevie. She is a rock gnome. She has chainmail and a big sword, but she's like tiny. So pretty ridiculous looking.
I love it. She's carrying a long sword like it's a great sword.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Excellent. So it's early in the morning, and you all are from this small town we'll call Felwick, and you know that this inn happens to be a local place that people go to find work, find jobs, especially adventurers and mercenaries and the like. There tend to be individuals looking to make a deal or to have things accomplished for them that are either above board or underhanded, but this is kind of a neutral establishment in regards to that. You also know that there is a sort of, it's not like a guild or anything like that, but there is some mercenary activity that's handled through here. In fact, there's
like a loose association.
Yeah, loosely, it's like there's someone here who processes work for people around town. That this is a small outlying city to the actual kingdom itself. You're not in the heart of the kingdom right now, and the local militia and like the guard and so forth kind of handle things on a macro scale, on a big scale, if like there's raids and things like that, or there is a constable and such that handles like infractions of the law, quote unquote. But when it gets outside of that kind of very loose and very limited kind of control, let's call it, or let's just call it control, then the locals look to mercenaries and adventurers, and you know that you can talk to someone in this inn. This inn is called the Golden Dragon Inn, and you happen to all kind of wander in just coincidentally at the same moment. You kind of bump into each other on the steps entering the inn. It's not uncommon that this happens. So as you enter this establishment, you may have been in here before. You certainly have heard of it. Quite, it's quite renowned in this small city. There are only a few small places where you can get a room and have a good meal and drinks and so forth. And not only that, the first thing you notice when you walk in is that there is a bard playing some music up in the front of the hall. To the right, let's say, as you walk in to this room, this pretty large room, there's like 10, 11 tables, a whole number of stools around, and actually quite large bar. Off in the corners, there's a hearth that has like It's got just a little tiny bit of a fire going. It's not raring or anything roaring in there, but it's definitely lit. And there's this halfling that's just kind of strumming on a lute and mostly just doing some little bantery kind of things, nothing too raucous or anything. You can, as you look around, you see that some of the patrons are actually kind of engaged with him. This is breakfast. This is like, we're gonna say it's like 8:30 in the morning. You know, just a little bit after sunrise, to where people are starting their day, and you imagine that some of these people are travelers. This is a port city, so there are travelers that come through from time to time. And this is also a place where locals will come to get their meal before going out to do their work for the day, whether it be down on the docks or somewhere in one of the mercantile or something like this, or even out in some of the farmlands, whatever it happens to be. Or their guard shift or what have you. So some of these people look to be locals. Some of them definitely are more clearly from lands afar. The next thing that you notice, besides the bartender and his assistant behind the bar and some bussers and what you imagine to be some kind of waitresses or something like this moving about, serving the tables and so forth, down to the far right of this, like off in the corner, and I will try to ping the map for you so you can see where I'm talking about. There's a table that has looks like to be a noble and his family. You imagine it looks like a mother, father, and daughter, and there are like 4 armed men that are standing casually on one hand, but you're trained and experienced enough to recognize that they're giving off the vibe of like, you better keep your distance or else. Even though they're kind of trying to be nonchalant and non-threatening, they still definitely give that kind of intense feeling to them. There's some numerous couples. There's some individuals that seem to be by themselves. And the other notable thing about this is that there is a woman sitting at a desk. And from what you've heard or may have even experienced in your basic beginning time as an adventurer, you may have come and gotten a job here before, is this woman sits at her desk and she's the go-to gal. She's where you want to go if you want to find out like what the current jobs may be. There's bustle and conversation happening, and again, some light music. And what would you guys like to do?
Well, do we know anything else about this supposed noble?
Yeah. How about everybody give me a history check? Start off with a simple roll.
All right. Oh, nope, I'm not helping.
7.
That's a 15.
4.
Awesome. So
Mine is 5 total.
right on. So Sai and Sir Jolly. No, what's his name? You gotta change that or I'm gonna mess it up the whole night.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No sweat.
Where do I do that?
You change that in the gear
so on
tab, top right.
Yeah.
Top right? Okay,
Yep,
so
so you select that gear tab, go down to where it says display name,
Yeah.
Display
And I
name.
apologize,
Yep, here we
Sai. I
go.
should know it's
and
Stevie.
then you click save name.
Thank you very much.
Jacqueline.
Perfect. So Stevie and is it Declan? Tacklin. Okay. So Stevie and Tacklin, they kind of know, but maybe by reputation more than like you don't have any necessarily connection with this person, but they are one of the powerful merchants in the city. They have quite a establishment of shipping. They own some of the ships, and local, let's say, textiles are handled through them. They have a reputation for being an honorable person, but they have their own, obviously their own armed guard because, well, they're freaking wealthy and they don't want somebody bothering them. So you know their names to be they are the Prince family. His name, you've heard his name is Wilhelm Prince. But that's about all you know about him.
Sorry, could you say that again? You cut out.
Oh, sure. So this would be Stevie and Tacklin are familiar, at least on some level, like that he's this merchant named Wilhelm Prince.
Okay.
But that's about all you know. He's like no local wealthy merchant who happens to travel around with an armed guard because.
Would it be uncommon to see someone of this stature in this bar?
No. In fact, you imagine that this is somewhere that they might come on somewhat on the regular, because it's a pretty renowned tavern or inn. It's pretty well renowned. It's renowned to be safe, clean, with decent food. And a lot of business happens in this place. It's like
I'm going to order a breakfast beer from the bar.
Fantastic.
You know what? It sounds like a good time for a pint.
And I'm going to say that the four of you, we'll say there's at least a loose association. Like, you kind of recognize each other if you haven't worked with you guys can decide amongst yourselves whether or not you have worked with each other, but for sure you at least would recognize each other when you're walking in, like, oh yeah, I've seen you around, or maybe you've done a job together or whatever. That's totally up to you all. So you walk. So Brolin walks up to the bar and orders herself a pint.
Which way is the bar? Is it right behind the lady here? Or?
No,
It's
literally
the
right
green
in
thing,
the big
right at the top.
green. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not pinging the thing very. I should be doing it that way.
I got it. I got it.
So you step up
I'm not.
and the bartender says, "Morning, lass. What can I do for you?"
A good breakfast stout would be right on the money.
Little hair of the dog, eh? He kind of grabs a glass and goes over to a tap. There's a large keg, actually quite large keg, behind the bar. Just pours out a frothy mug for you and slides it across. And,
What do I owe you?
It's 5 copper.
All right. I'll pass over 6.
Okay. Haha. He kind of gives you a wink and a smile, and kind of goes about his business. He's kind of like cleaning glasses and stacking things and calling some orders to his. You see, there's an assistant that's essentially doing more or less the same.
Slandra.
Bubo, I am going to go up to the counter. I'm going to climb up the stool and stand atop of it.
Excellent.
And then I'm going to wait for the bartender to notice me and notice that I'm not a child.
It doesn't take that long. He's
familiar with your kind.
Yeah, you see pretty much mostly humans in here, the odd elf or half elf, but it's not totally uncommon to see others around town, like gnomes and dwarves and such. Less common, but certainly around. So he looks over and says basically the same to you. Good morning, my dear. How can I help you?
Do you have pancakes?
He kind of lifts an eyebrow.
I just need breakfast.
It's a bit of a special request, but let me see what the chef can whip up for you. And I know he's fixed the regular of eggs and sausage, but he kind of is intrigued that you would ask for something so interesting. He calls his assistant over, who runs off. You assume towards the kitchen, which is essentially he runs essentially off this way over here.
I try to conceal the fact that my stomach is growling.
All right. And a moment later, he returns with he kind of like whispers in the ear of the bartender. Not whispers, but he just says it kind of under his breath. Like you see, they kind of maybe have some kind of like a code or something like that where they're not like yelling or broadcasting or whatever. So the bartender turns back to you after a second and he says, the chef says he's happy to see to your order. That'll be 4 silver, my dear. And would you like me in anything to drink with that?
I'm gonna look down the bar. Do you have any juice? It's going to be like a very childish breakfast. It's just gonna be juice and pancakes.
Fantastic.
Just all the sugar she can put in her body. She's just gonna cram her face.
Bust out the stereos.
He kind of chuckles and says, "Well, I wouldn't be much of a bartender if I didn't cater to everyone's thirsts, would I now?" And he kind of walks over and you see him take out, basically pours like essentially it's like a watered down cider, and then brings it over to you and says, "No charge, my dear. It's included with the pancakes, yes?"
Okay, and I will hand him 6. How many? It was 4 silver, right? She'll
I think
pass over
did I say
6
4
silver.
or 5? Oh, 6, yes.
I think you said 4.
What did I say? 4 silver?
I think it was 4.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. That's fine.
She's going to pass over 6 silver and just stare at him intently until the pancakes arrive.
All right, so he picks him up, kind of like looks at him, taps him on the bar, similarly kind of gives you a wink and a smile. You hear some bustling, you hear some conversations, simple stuff being spoken. When you sit up to the bar, the one person, you can see this person is sort of kind of just casually leaning back, looking around. They took note of you all walking in, and
The person next to me?
yeah, they're mostly
Okay.
looking at the. They've been kind of mostly paying attention to the bard that's performing up front, but then they kind of look around. They seem a little sort of disinterested or whatever. Just kind of like nods good morning to you. Smiles.
I'm just going to look over. Pancakes. Have you had them? And just kind of stare awkwardly at him.
He kind of looks for a moment. No, I'm more of a sausage and eggs. I like the regular. Yeah. Seems a little gruff. He didn't expect you to talk to him, honestly, and it's very apparent over his face. He was like, you get the sense that he maybe is a loner. Like, sitting at the bar by himself, thinks, he's kind of like, yeah. Is that pancakes? Should I eat them?
Yes. I highly suggest pancakes.
What are they?
It's like flat bread with sugary syrup on it. And butter.
I like bread.
Now imagine bread with sugar on it. And butter. It's the best. Trust me on this one. You can trust me. I eat 3 different breakfasts a day. And this is my favorite one.
His eyes bulge a bit when you say 3 different bread. He's kind of like, now he looks at you like he doesn't believe you.
Oh, trust me. This is only first breakfast. I just got up.
He just kind of
I
nods.
encourage pancakes.
I love it.
Oh, God. Now I really want
welcome.
pancakes, you guys. Being grain-free
We-
sucks.
We should get brunch tomorrow.
I'm grain-free right now. And dairy-free.
Well, never mind. Once you're up to a whole 30, we can go get pancakes.
December. But yeah, I definitely suggest that he eats some pancakes, and then when my pancakes arrive, I let him take a little bite out of it. A very little bite. Like, I portion it out for him and just
Nice.
let him try it.
Right on.
And then I ask him, so why are you here right now?
But he kind of like, breakfast? like it's more of a question than than an answer.
Is it first or second breakfast for you?
I only eat one breakfast.
I clutched my pearl.
Awesome.
I'll
At
let
this
other
point,
people continue now because I feel like I'm.
yeah, at this point, I'd like to chime in. Can I put in my order or not?
Well,
Gotta
of
call
cour-
something faster than trying to order here now.
course, good sir. Yeah. What would you like? We have eggs and sausage, and he looks over at Bubo and is like, or would you like something a little more fancy this morning?
Take a sausage. And have you any willow tea?
And he looks
Clearly
at me and
not.
says,
I'll just take whatever tea you have on
This
hand.
is tea. We can make some licorice tea, or I can make barley tea. But I'm afraid I do not have willow tea. Sorry about that.
The barley will do.
Okay, so he kind of nods over to the assistant. Assistant runs back to the kitchen, grabs you a plate. You just want the sausages, no eggs? Is that what I
Extra
understood?
sausage, no
Yeah.
eggs.
All right, perfect. So he comes back with like 2 or 3 sausages on a wooden plate, while the bartender goes back behind you, and you see that there's actually a like kind of a steaming pot, like what you imagine is like hot water, and he kind of pulls that and pours out some. He puts like what looks like to be some kind of a powder in a mug, pours that in, gives it a little stir, and brings it over to you. And it's got a very like it's I don't know if you ever had it. It's pretty. I don't want to say. It's rich. It's got an interestingly rich, like earthy flavor. It's actually quite satisfying in its own way.
It's okay. Only a 10.
Excellent.
Stevie's gonna try to flag someone down.
Sure. So he kind of like he kind of raises an eyebrow and smiles like, "It's not the classroom, my dear. What would you like? How can I help you?"
Got him.
Who have avocado toast?
He looks at you kind of blankly.
A what?
Stevie, you've been overseas too long.
And she'll just ask for
Overseas, have you? We don't have too much in the way of exotics. I can get you some fruit if that's what you like. But I've never heard of an avocado. Avocado? Did I
really
say
good on
that
toast.
right?
Oh, you're cutting in and out for me.
me.
Yeah,
Oh,
Sorry, what did you say?
there we go. You just might have to speak a little louder.
oh.
Nope, still losing you.
I'm still hearing her just fine.
Oh, you're still hearing her? It might
Yep.
just be me.
I'm hearing about avocados. Here, I will be the translator.
Avocados.
Avocados.
He
Avocados everywhere.
he tells you he doesn't know what an avocado is and apologizes.
She'll just get like eggs and bacon.
Okay. He did offer fruit, if that was interesting to you. But okay, so he brings the same thing. Brings over a meal. So if I didn't tell anyone already, it'll be, let's see, gonna be like 3 silver for the regular meal. So so you guys sit around, and again, it's a pretty bustling thing. You see some people come in and out. One group of individuals gets up and pushes away from the table, head out, and they kind of like call out a goodbye to the some of the people they recognize in the bar. the merchant over in the corner, you can see that the what you guess to be the wife and the daughter are both fairly entertained by the bard that's playing in the corner, and he's playing some kind of like local favorites and folky songs and stuff. Again, nothing raucous or anything like that. More lighthearted, cheerful things. And
does he know Ragnar the Red?
I don't. You can go ask
Would
him.
I happen to know the tunes he was playing?
You probably recognize some of it, if not specifically what he's doing. It's like they're like standards kind of stuff. That he's maybe tweaked or what have you.
I was just wondering if there was a possibility for me to like go and improv with him.
Yeah, you certainly could.
Play
And
along.
He's a passable bard. He's not anything exceptional by any stretch, but he's also not.
Neither am I yet. I'm only level 2.
Well, what do you think, Boobo?
I think I'm gonna go show him something. And I'm gonna like slide down my stool, just shimmy my way down and walk over and whip out my schwam and start playing.
Fantastic.
And just kind of join in. Try to...
Just sitting where you are?
No, I walk over.
Okay.
So like after I've inhaled my pancakes, I just kind of and walk over to where.
Fantastic. All right. So
like
he
right over
sees you.
here.
Yeah. So he sees you approaching and recognizes that you have an instrument in your arm, and he almost kind of there's like a moment you see a moment of like borderline irritation pass over his face, but then in the next moment he's kind of like brightens up and like indicates for you to sit next to him or whatever, like take a seat or whatever and join in. 'Cause,
Stealing the spotlight. Here I am.
You get the sense that he doesn't get to jam often, so yeah, he didn't want you. His first thought might have been like somebody trying to steal the spotlight, but then his second thought was like, oh, now we can make some real money or something like this.
I'm here for this.
So Hell, why don't you give me a performance check and see what happens over the next few minutes?
So that's 15 plus 15 plus 4, so 19.
Nice. So, you start playing very skillfully, and you're just, he's playing a tune that you recognize close enough, or at least the sequence, like the musical steps and notes and scales and stuff well enough.
I know what key this is in.
Yeah, you know the key. You can match pretty well, but you actually start playing slightly better than he is, like slightly more skill, but he actually fairly quickly kind of matches, like he sort of steps his game up a little bit. Like maybe he's paying a little more attention to what he's actually doing or something. He's not being so casual about his playing, and you actually, for the next 5 minutes or so, you start, really getting into some quite lovely stuff, and people start smiling, and a few more coins get tossed up towards the front and such. I'd like the other three of you to make a perception check, please.
I'm sorry?
Perception check.
That's a 19.
Awesome. Oh, right on. Oh, Tacklin is either deep into his meal or into his own thoughts, perhaps enamored by the new musical arrangement happening. Doesn't quite, or maybe just looked away at the wrong moment. But Brolin and Stevie, you just happen to see over in the corner here where the merchant is sitting. He leans over to one, or actually he kind of like motions to one of his guard, and that guard leans over. They have a quick whispered moment, and the guard walks over in your direction.
You're being us as a collective?
The three,
or...
he walks over towards. Since Brolin is closest, hey, you guys don't necessarily look like you're together yet, huh? Well, anyway, he
No,
walks
we're
over
kind of
towards
spread out.
Brolin. And he says, "Good morning, fair dwarf. My employer noticed that you have the look of an adventurer about you. Is that a fair assessment?"
Could be. Depends on what he's asking for.
Well, that I don't know, but he is interested in having a conversation with you if you're interested. And he kind of
Right.
he kind of nods over and actually then basically walks. Oh, did Stevie walk over to?
Yes.
Okay, so so you heard part of that. He kind of looks down at you and essentially gives you the impression he's offering. He assumes you heard most of what he just said, and because he didn't whisper it or anything, he said it at a kind of a standard voice, and it sort of indicates that you're both sort of welcome to go and join him at the table.
Hey, Tacklin, get your ass over here.
Hmm?
Oh, so
Get your fucking ass over here.
You get.
you just made his morning because he was about to have to go over and start another conversation with Tacklin. So he kind of nods to the three of you and basically walks back over to sort of reassume his quote unquote position.
Looks like Mr. Mister wants to have a conversation with us. As soon as Boobo's done playing, I figure we'll walk over.
For what?
It seems like he has a job. We might as well hear him out. Yeah?
Bose?
What?
Suppose so.
Right. And as soon as Boobo is done playing, I'll nod my head over to the table.
How long did? Oh, so
Catching
as soon as the song. So okay, Boobo, you're up there and having a good time. You kind of after again 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is, you're not really paying that much attention. But you wind down the song that you're playing, and the bard kind of is like, "Wow, that was fun. Thanks for joining me." And you also kind of notice at the same time you look over at the others and you can see that they're trying to get. Well, actually, no. Let's do it this way. Roll a perception check. See if you do notice.
Okay. This will go really well. I promise.
See how much effort it's
Oh,
going to
that's
require.
cocked. Hang on.
Sure.
I rolled a 16 for, like, something. For whatever it takes to get her over here.
Right.
I rolled a perception of. Oh gosh, I love Jack of all trades.
Yes.
So that brings me up to 15.
Oh yeah. So you easily. So there. You are just kind of trained. You're trained essentially to read a crowd, right? I mean that's your bard, right? So you have to read the crowd, and in that you're very easily noticing that it looks like Brawin and possibly the others are trying to get your attention.
I will continue playing across the room until I get to the group, while giving a thumbs up to the other bard as I walk away, and he says, "That was nice."
Yeah, and he says,
So I'm only playing the upper register of my Schwab right now,
"Nice." He says,
so I can do a thumbs up at the same time.
"Come join me anytime. Always happy to have a friend on the stage." And then he kind of just goes back into his routine and makes a few jokes.
Try to do the Fonz while also playing
Right.
the Schwab.
Hey.
Not really that graceful.
Love it. So you approach Brolin.
Yes.
Well,
What's happening?
It seems the merchant over there wants our attention. Might have a job.
Money?
You game?
Is there money?
I would assume so, but we have to talk to him first.
Alright. I'm in.
Alright. And I'll make my way over.
Okay, so as
You guys are just get all up in their face.
yeah, and as you guys approach, the guard actually like make a larger perimeter, let's call it. They sort of move out to give you all space to kind of come around, and actually at that moment, the wife and daughter, the wife stands up and says, "Darling, I think I'm going to go to the well, I'll be back." And she gets up and like
Boom.
pulls her daughter from the table, and she kind of like, "We'll leave you to your business," and she walks away. And Wilhelm kind of smiles, kind of does like a half stand. You know, he's not like getting all the way up, but he kind of is still sort of trying to be polite on some level. And friends, good morning. Please have a seat.
Thank you. How can we help you today?
He says, "Well, I take it you're all adventurers by the look of you and the gear you're carrying. You have that air about you. Is that true?"
Aye.
Excellent, excellent. Well, it seems that... are any of you familiar with the sage Wilhelm? Give me another history check.
Better. 17.
Nope. That's the natural too.
Are we doing perception?
History. Another history check.
History.
Okay, so apparently only Brolwyn recognizes, and actually that makes sense. Being a cleric, you have some ties with the local clergy and so forth, and you know that Wilhelm is someone that is not quite legendary, and certainly not mythic, because you do know that the guy actually exists. But he's got some sort of renown in the local area, within, let's say, the kingdom. He's regarded as like, well, they call him the sage, like the sage Wilhelm. So he's renowned as this kind of like seer or wise one. You don't think he's a wizard, but you think he's definitely got some kind of divination thing going on. Some form of, whether it's divine magic or whether it's visions or something. Isn't, you don't know the details, but you have a sense of like, this guy is somebody of renown, and most people in the area you would think would regard him with some level of respect, maybe fear, but more like mostly respect. So it definitely registers in your memory. The others, he doesn't recognize. You don't recognize the name.
I live in the woods.
Yeah, exactly.
I know of Wilhelm. I don't know him.
Well, you know, he's been around these parts for quite some time, and he's got these how should I call it? He looks after things, and sometimes he sees things. Yes, he knows things that are going to happen, and he's quite amazing in this. And have you all noticed that the weather? Yes, the weather has been very strange of late. It has gotten well. Do you know that there was hell the other day? Hell! He like indicates like big marble sized.
Oh,
Hell.
hell.
It is the middle of summer. This is not right. He says, one day it is very cold. The next day it is swelteringly hot. One day it is pouring rain. The next day it is bone dry. For weeks, it is very strange. It has only happened in the last few months.
The weather's been passing strange.
Yes, Wilhelm. He thinks that something is afoot, and I must perfect my investments. So, I have taken his guidance in this matter. I do not wish to see any of my ships or any of my crops be destroyed. I'm sure you can understand my concerns. Yes.
Of course.
So what is it that you were proposing precisely?
Says, well, I do not know all the details, but if you talk to What's her name? Shit. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Wolf, please.
For that direct approach.
Do 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 do.
If you
We'll be
talk,
right back after the technical difficulties.
if you talk to Winnie, and he points across the room, and you kind of look over your shoulder, and you can see he's indicating the woman at the desk. Okay. If you talk to Winnie, I believe she has some work that may involve this matter. Anything that Wilhelm is concerned about, I wish to see it be taken care of, yes? As quickly as possible. And you seem able-bodied. You look like the type that might be looking for this kind of work, so I thought I would let you know. And it's at this time his wife has kind of come back to the table with his daughter, and they get ready, and he kind of like indicates that you get the sense that the conversation is more or less over. He was just he was being generous and giving you a tip in the sense of like information for free. So he says, well, I hope that that information will serve you, and please do, if you can, look into it. I think you will find that it will improve your fortunes, yes? We are all in this world to do this, are we not? He says, thank you for your time, and best of luck. And then he kind of like turns to his daughter. Says, my dear, we best get going to your school, yes? And she kind of like, she gets that look like she doesn't want to go.
School.
Have a good rest of your day. Thank you for the information.
And at that point, he kind of nods and gets up from the table, and he and the guards all exit the inn, and his wife and daughter.
Great. Well,
Suppose
I
at this
start
point-
making my way. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna head over to Winnie and ask her. Oi!
She's
Yeah.
She's got like a stack of ledgers, some books. It's hard to tell if she's reading for pleasure or work, but she's got her nose in it. And you walk over, and she kind of looks up, and a little half startled, a little expectant look on her face at the same time. And I'm gonna make my first roll of the night here.
Hello.
She kind of looks at you all like she doesn't really recognize any of you. So even if you have taken a job, you weren't memorable enough for her to like recall your face or whatever. You get the sense that there's a lot of turnover too, like maybe. So she probably is kind of used to it. She says, well, good morning then. Are you here to inquire about a job, or? And she looks kind of quizzical, like, you're not here to collect, right?
No, we were.
I am actually, but that's not what I'm here for at this exact moment. The man with the money says that you may know something about the stranger weather we've been having nowadays.
I'm sorry, the man with the money? She doesn't know who you're talking about.
And I point back. The Baron, the merchant who was just recently behind us.
She looks to the corner, and you see this fluster, like she's almost like calculating or doing something, like there's something going on in her brain. Like, oh, Mr. Prince. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm sorry. What did he say? The weather?
He said, Wilhelm the Sage had an inclination as to what was going on, that we might be able to help.
Oh, yes. And she kind of like shuffles a few papers. She pulls out a paper that you all quickly recognize because you are from the local area. You recognize in the corner there's the seal of the kingdom. And it's not like anything extravagant, like it's not like some beautiful, like amazingly cursive, but it's just a missive that has some information on it, but it does bear the seal, which is kind of surprising. And she kind of like pulls it out and kind of reads through it. Says, yes, so it seems that the king has sent word on on the oh gosh, my brain.
Actually,
Sounds
Based,
like-
I'm just
sorry,
gonna-
apologies. Okay,
I'm
based.
just gonna like stroke my beard and like a little bit of like dead
That was
leaves and mud
that was
start
Gregory,
hitting
not
the
Winnie.
floor.
Sorry, that was Gregory, not Winnie. Apologies. So she says, yeah, we received a message from the king, or from the king's office, and apparently, yes, the sage Philhelm has been advising the king, and it seems that there's been some strange portents, and he's reporting that there must be a cause to this odd weather we've been having, and was looking for someone to perhaps begin an investigation. He says, "Are you all familiar with the Temple of Guidance?" You kind of look around. And, yeah, do another history check. Sure, why not? Yeah, actually, I'm gonna
7.
waive that one for sure. Brolwyn has heard of it.
Okay.
The others
That's
may or may
17.
not. Stevie
Temple
has no
of-
clue. Tacklin, you are familiar with it because you know that it is located. It's like it's a local. Oh, a local, and even Bubo. Okay, so
Oh,
it
Look
is
at me
a
go.
place that people go on like pilgrimage, like kind of an annual thing or something like that. So the more faithful, the more devout people of the area, they go, and it's the space that they're supposed to go to pray, and well, it kind of the name kind of says it, right? It's the Temple of Guidance. So it's this renowned ancient not a ruin, but it's like an ancient space or something that people go to. You've never been there yourselves, but you know that this is somewhere that people go if they're looking for answers, or they're trying to maybe begin their spiritual path or something like that, or so there's
Sure.
there's some local history, local kind of legend, let's call it maybe loosely, that kind of thing, about it. And so you have heard of it, and you have a I'm gonna say that with the what was yeah, the 19 was for Bubo. Yeah, so was there a reason you rolled twice though?
me.
Yeah.
It didn't show me the first time that I rolled, so I was like,
Okay.
okay, it must not have rolled. So I clicked again.
Oh,
so
no,
it's
so,
the
all right,
first
so we're
roll.
going to take the 14. All right, so then,
Yep.
Tacklin, you, and especially with your familiarity with the surrounding, like, the surrounding environment, you actually know pretty well where it is. Again, you probably haven't been there yourself, but you can find it if you need to. So, so she
okay.
continues. She says, well, apparently, she looks a little confused because she's still kind of like reading this mystery. She says, apparently, people that have been going there lately have been disappearing. Something's going on. Anyway, there's, I have the. Oh, my brain is just not working, guys. I'm sorry.
Paperwork?
I want to say permission, but that's not really the word I want to say. So it's like that's why my brain is
Is
fighting
it like
me.
a bulletin post?
No,
Contract.
yeah, that's authorization. Good God, how could I know? Okay, so she said, I have the
Words are
authorization.
hard.
She said,
Words are hard,
Right, I know,
man.
right? And I'm trying to do the voices at the same time. I'm not Matthew Mercer, believe me. I do my best, but so she says, I have. Oh yeah, well, I guess it says here I have authorization to provide 20 gold to any individuals who can provide information, and if you're interested.
Is it 20 gold each or 20 gold total?
No, it looks like 20 gold for any individuals. Individuals meaning per person.
Nice.
It does have a warning that there is expected difficulty. As I said, there's people are missing, which indicates foul play, I guess. You can see that
Sign
she's
me
not
up.
dumb. Like you're getting the sense that Winnie is. She's not dumb. She's just like a little ditzy or something. You know, like maybe she's like too much of the head in the book, so she's not really good at communicating.
There's social interaction.
Yeah, the social. She's a little. Plus, she's probably also a little defensive because she's used to dealing with really gruff, gnarly people that intimidate her. So,
Great.
yeah.
I am a child
She
with
c-
pancake syrup on my shirt.
She's
I am ready.
She's also.
Right.
Y'all have pretty high perception passives, except for, let's see, Steve. So 15, 11.
15.
You have two of you are 15, right? And what was the?
Mm-hmm.
14.
Oh, 14. 15, 15, 14, 11. Is that what we got? I normally write that
Why is
stuff
this
down.
fuck you?
So, yeah. You're all pretty, like, you pretty well notice, like, every once in a while and through the conversation, she's glanced over, kind of knowingly to the bartender. Like, you get the sense for, like, reassurance. Like, anytime she feels, she gets a look of, like, discomfort or uneasiness, she kind of, like, looks over to the bartender and then looks back at you all. So, yeah, well, anyway, that's what it says. Look into this matter at the Caves of Guidance, and you'll be paid for it. And I suppose they'll want it cleared out. She's kind of I suppose they'll want it cleared out if anything has gone wrong there.
Of course.
Should we bring back the people if we find them dead or alive?
I would assume so.
That's probably a good idea. But it doesn't say anything in the letter, though. I don't know. Do what you
I
will.
suppose we'll just like nature take its course the way it does.
And then she kind of like, well, okay, if there's nothing else, thank you. And she kind of like goes back awkwardly, like tries to go back to doing what she was supposedly doing before you walked up to her desk.
Have a good rest of your day, Winnie.
Oh, thank you. She smiles.
And I'll walk over to this table. Alright, so, what do we
Wait,
think?
which table did you walk to?
This one.
This
I
one?
suppose.
I'm
Now,
sitting.
Yes.
since I kind of know where the Temple of Guidance is, how far do I know it is from town? Or do I know how far it is from town, rather?
Yeah, give me a nature check.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
So roll a nature check for me. See how well you can gauge the distance. Yeah, so you imagine it's on foot. It's going to take you on foot. It will be 5 days. If you could possibly get horses, again, it's a kind of a pilgrimage, right? So it's you do know that it's sort of on the way from Felwick to Agick. Agick being the seat of the kingdom, right? The kingdom of Agick. So the city of Agick or the castle or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, it's about 5 days on foot. You imagine if you had horses or the like, you could probably cut that time at least in half, if not better.
Alright, sounds like we need to find ourselves some horses. Would there happen to be a stable about? Somewhere in town?
Well, hold on just a minute. And I'll walk up to the bar. Excuse me.
Yes. Are you still hungry?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Another
don't
beer,
suppose
another
you have
ale,
any-
then?
I will always take another ale. Question.
He
though.
starts to pour.
Do you have any horses for rent? For letting?
Rent? No, no, not here. Let's see, horses. Well, no, not us.
No?
I suppose you'll want to go to the farrier. No, it's not farrier. Farrier makes the
Stables?
stable. Yeah, there's another word for it.
There's a different word for it, but yeah.
Anyway, he indicates that you'll want to go see them.
Right. Well, thank you so much.
Oh,
how much is
it's the same as the Cartwright. They share the same space. So yeah,
Right.
that's the best place to go.
Right. Well, thank you so much. How much do I owe you for the ale again?
Oh, right. Yes, another. What was that? 4 copper.
Great. I'll pass over 5.
He smiles one more time.
Uh,
Kind of goes back to what he was doing.
Have a good one. And I'll walk back to the
You as well, lass.
Oi. We need to find the cart right. And then we can find our horses. And then we can head out. But I'm going to finish this beer first.
Well, since we have some time to kill, might as well have another. Go up. And,
I put that down in like 3 minutes.
Right on. Yeah, I'm sure. Chug, chug, chug.
I rolled an 18 for Constitution.
Yeah,
Just
no worries.
what happened. So,
So before you head out, I do want to. So with the 50 gold pieces, if I know I said it way at the beginning, but I don't want to gloss over it in case it does. I don't want it to get missed. If you had wanted to, I was saying you could definitely have gotten a healing potion, but also you could of course keep that in your purse or purchase other items if you will. You head over across town, you get some directions, or maybe you know where the Cartwright is. You find your way over there, and it's a bustling place. There are stable hands walking in and out. There's plenty of horses. There are some arenas for like training horses, kind of on the outskirts of the city. In fact, it's outside of the gate, the wall of the city. It's almost gives you the sense of more like a farmstead than it does a business or a shop or something. But
sure.
But you see wheels and wagons and all sorts of items around this huge barn. And yeah, it's a pretty big establishment. You can see that it appears that there's essentially you guess that there's 2 families that have just combined forces. One handles the horses, the other handles the wagons and carts.
Sure. Right.
So, are you going to inquire about travel arrangements?
Let's go.
Probably
buy some horses.
Yeah, I think that seems like the most reasonable thing to do.
So, they'll tell you straight out that they don't rent horses.
Sure.
But he says that you can get a good draft horse will be 50 gold pieces. And they do have a few donkeys for 8 gold pieces. If you want something to carry
I can ride on a donkey.
How long would it
ponies
take to
are
get there?
30, but they only have 1 pony. By
How long
horse.
would it take? Yeah.
Oh, so I think they're 3 times as fast. If I remember right.
So I mean,
where is it?
Because I mean, if they're that much slower, it wouldn't even be worth it to buy a donkey, and it'd be better just to walk and save the gold.
Oh, no. I mean, a donkey and a horse are functionally... I mean, you can't, like, gallop on a donkey, per se. Getting it to run is probably going to be challenging. What was the question?
I was just wondering if we could gallop on a pony.
Yeah, ponies are functionally... well, a mule's speed is 40, so there you go. It is
faster than me.
Slightly faster than you all.
And it's got a draft horse at 40, riding
Yep, drafts
60.
are... Yeah, they're also...
Oh my gosh, at this rate we could get a mastiff. I could ride a dog.
Riding horse is definitely the fastest, but it's also... They're also expensive.
Yep.
Yeah, I have 22 gold to spend, so...
And honestly, that doesn't include the tack and harness and barding and all that crap, so...
How rough is the pilgrimage? Because, I mean, it sounds like this must be a fairly well-traveled road.
Yes. Actually, you would know that you gather that it's more the distance than the challenge of it.
Because, I mean,
it might be a little bit challenging at the last bit, but most likely it's not. It's not like you're scaling a mountain or something like that.
Right. I'll get a donkey. How much are donkeys again?
8 gold pieces.
8? Okay, well that puts me down to 14 gold pieces.
Me too.
Do they have a mastiff?
They don't.
now, here's a cool... Oh, wait, shit, no, I can't do that. Never mind.
Yeah,
Okay,
you have
then
to
I'm
go to
also
the...
gonna get a
the pet shop.
donkey.
Mastiff is
I'm
more
gonna
of a
get a
guard dog.
donkey.
So do you all want to pick up mules then for the trip?
What about a goat or something like that?
I don't think a goat would take you.
I mean,
Tackling.
yeah, it's not... You might be able to convince a goat to do it. What the hell? Give me a animal handling check.
Or if they have like any sort of like giant goats. All right, let's see here.
A mountain goat,
Well,
perhaps.
you're only like 2 feet tall, dude. So you could theoretically.
No, he's not.
Well,
He's
no,
not.
No, I'm a
dwarves
dwarf.
are...
Oh, you're a dwarf.
He's
I'm
4'5".
sorry. I'm sorry. I
I'm
And I'm
apologize.
probably-
4'2".
No.
I mean, you're gonna crush this goat.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. I wasn't thinking. A ram, maybe, but this isn't dwarf country, so. Yeah, it's pretty much pony or mule for you, man.
Which one's cheaper?
The pony. I mean, the
Mule.
mule. Sorry.
Donkey.
Donkey, mule, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, mules are donkeys and horses put together.
I want a thoroughbred donkey. I want to know its sire line and everything.
So, was that a yes for
Like-
picking up the mounts for
I was
everyone?
thinking, like if my wild shape lasted longer, I'd consider just doing that.
Right.
Bummer. Yeah. Okay. Guess whichever one was cheaper.
You all theoretically have like $10 or something from whatever background you chose, unless you chose urchin, which is only 5 gold pieces. So we're gonna
Yep.
assume that you have at least a handful of coins to take care of
But I have a pet mouse.
picking up a.
So
That's
that's me.
true.
Because I mean,
What's your pet mouse's name?
Doesn't have one.
because the halfling and the gnome could definitely
Needs to
share
earn it.
a horse.
A mouse has
This is
to
true.
earn
probably
it.
share a
I'm
mount.
fair with that.
And then
I'm
we
fine
would
with
just need
that.
separate mounts for the dwarves, probably.
Yeah. So 3
So wait,
total.
we're sharing what?
What are we doing?
The gnome and the halfling, they could probably share a horse because they're small enough.
A horse or a mule?
A
A
donkey.
mount.
Donkey or a pony?
They could share a mount.
Do you want a pony or do you want a mule? A mule is only $8.
Yep, we're going
A
with a mule.
pony is 30.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a mule. That 8 gold.
So it's 4 gold for Stevie and I then, because we're splitting the cost.
Yep.
Fair enough. There you go.
Yes.
All right, and so
Gonna be an adventure.
we're gonna say with the mules, you will be able to travel about 30 miles a day, and that will cut down your travel from 5 days to basically, let's say, 2 days.
Dope.
Neat.
So it's getting on. By the time you go and talk to the Cartwrights, make the arrangements, purchase the things, it's probably right around just before lunchtime. Let's say
Second breakfast.
Say like 11 o'clock or something.
Right.
Could I have gotten a to-go bag before we left the bar
And
filled
so,
with food?
sure.
Just filled with food.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want a pack, so that way I could like sit there and like snack and nibble
What?
basically the entire trip.
What? Let's see. That was gonna cost you. Let's say 6 copper. Poor food. If you want
Okay.
better, it's 3 silver.
We'll do the 3 silver.
All
I
right.
like to treat myself.
That's enough food for the day.
Yay. literally one of my personality traits. So hungry all the time.
So what you get for going paleo?
Pyre, isn't that? Pyre, is that you?
Pyre, is that you? Always hungry. Well, dwarves and halflings just like to eat.
All right,
Can't
so
be.
True.
so technically, you need the horse doesn't include. That's just the animal. That doesn't include a saddle, bags, etc.
Yeah.
So
Bridle and all that.
I'm gonna say, if you want, you can. You certainly try to ride bareback, but we do bit and bridle at least. You have to have something to control the animal with. So we'll so add another 2 gold pieces to that, and then I need animal handling from all of y'all. This is gonna be
This is gonna be great.
interesting overall skill for the next 2 days.
Hey!
God. Oh, fuck.
Oh.
I got a
one.
21 total.
21,
We're good.
nice.
I rolled a natural 1,
Oh,
which totals to 4.
oh, yeah. You're having a real
You guess who else did?
horrible time.
The
with
other
your-
dwarf.
Yeah. Oh
Dwarves
yes,
get right.
2-1. Oh god.
Oh.
These you
I mean, at least you can't crit fail this.
you spend the first day convincing, trying to argue yourselves in and out of whether or not you got swindled. But then you keep looking over at Stevie and Bubo, and they're just like bebopping along on this animal who's like they're having no problems,
Ready to go.
and you're kind of tackling. You're kind of beside yourself because you always have a good rapport with animals. You're like.
This is
You
not
can't
natural.
figure out what's going on. So the first day is just this horrendous. Essentially, what happens is you're telling people, oh yeah, we should be able to cover like a good 30 miles a day, which means we should probably get a good 15 miles underway today before we were. It's been like 5 miles, and you know it's already like. It's like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, you guys grab.
I'll give you an apple. I promise.
So,
Apples and sugar cubes,
yeah,
and as soon as we get there, just everything you want.
Yeah,
Just please fucking move.
they'll just go for a while and then like stop. So like they get you out of town and you probably travel like a good mile and then they just stop and they just won't move and they just won't move. And you lose like an hour just trying to get them to move. And then you finally coax them into moving. And they like finally travel. They do like another half mile or something like that, and then they both stop. You also get the sense that they are. It's almost like they're working together. these
Hang
two
on, you know
animals,
what? Actually,
like they're fighting with each other. And,
I have a solution to this.
yeah,
I'm going to go ahead and cast Speak with Animal.
sure.
I'm just going to I mean, it's taking forever anyway, so I'm going to do it as a ritual. And then once I have it, I'm just going to ask the animal, what is the problem? What is your issue?
I don't have an issue. You get the sense that it's like, you get irritation.
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
No. I'm sorry, continue.
Yeah.
My wife was talking at me.
No worries. I totally understand that.
So I'm sorry. Yeah, I asked the horse what's going on. Yeah, all the apples sure do.
It's like, so it's kind of like, don't like traveling, don't like walking. You're
feel that.
heavy.
I'm not that heavy.
That's just rude.
Yeah. It's just rude.
Yeah, the packs I usually carry aren't this burdensome. It's I don't like that one, and it's like they keep the one you. I'm assuming you're talking to the one you were riding.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like it kind of like shakes its head like it like makes these what you like in horse are rude gestures at the other or not horse but in mule donkey whatever at the other donkey like don't like that one, smells funny, don't want to
Well,
travel
I'll be
with
like,
it.
tell you what, if you can get us to where we're going, we'll get you some extra stable food and some fresher hay for bedding. How's that sound?
I like food.
All right. Well, let's
Food's good.
if we can keep it moving along, we'll make sure the other guy gets your message, and we'll get you some extra food.
Okay, let's go.
Eyebrow wiggle intensifies.
So y'all finally get him going. It's just cumbersome and challenging. They kind of want to fight with each other. They'll start wandering off the path, even though you're like yanking them to try to get them to stay on the path. It's just not a fun afternoon.
It's a mess. Sounds like a mess.
Yeah, and you guys just decide, you know what? Maybe it's just best if we just kind of like call it quits early today, and set up some camp. So you find a place by the side of the road. This part of this countryside is pretty, as you had said, well traveled, and there's not much in the way of concern of any problems. And in point of fact, the evening passes quite uneventfully. Do you guys want to do a sleep, some kind of sleeping arrangement with like watches and that kind of thing, or what are you thinking?
I'll take morning watch because I have a mess kit, so I'll make breakfast for everybody.
Cool.
I can take the first watch.
I can take the second one.
How many watches do we need here, do you think?
Every 2 hours. So
Yeah.
4.
Go forward.
I mean, how many of us are there? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Four.
Yeah, I suppose 2 hour shifts. That works.
Yep.
So you're on third watch then?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okie doke. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So I gotta check something. What the hell was that?
Also, Alejandro, I have either your D12 or I have Jake's D12.
It's a D12.
Some people use D12s.
Barbarian problems.
The unloved D12.
Okay. So
This
on
big bubbles.
by the time you get set for your evening rest, it starts pouring rain.
I hate being wet.
Yeah, it is just horrible.
Helm preserve it.
Everybody give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
See how
Fucking
horrible
Christ.
of a night you have.
I have the worst night ever. That's a natural one.
Dope.
Oh,
Haha!
Nice.
And actually, hang on. Do I have something for this? Oh, I thought. Did I pick my cantrips? Oh, to kind of help, I'd like to cast during the time conjure bonfire or create bonfire.
All right, so you get a rip and fire going. It helps a bit, but it's smoky because of all the rain. So it's kind of almost uncomfortable. Even though the warmth does help. So you guys
we're
just have
warm.
kind of a miserable night, and you wake in the morning thinking about like what was said yesterday about about Wilhelm being concerned about the
weather.
about the weather. Yeah, it
the
kind of
weird
leaves you
weather
with that like
patterns.
this is just bizarre. So why is this happening? So the next morning comes along and temperature's fine. The rain trickles off and stops, but the wind whips up now. So like by the time it's mid afternoon, the wind is just blowing like it's not like hurricane or anything, but it's whipping, and it's this kind of constant irritating, like, 15-20 mile an hour wind of just like it's constant blowing and changing directions, and it's just like bizarre. It's bizarre. It's very unseasonal and strange. And it makes for kind of a crummy morning. But again, you don't have much in the way of interaction. You see the odd farmers off doing their thing. There are a few caravans that you pass in the first day or so. Midday comes and goes, and by evening the next day, when you're ready to set camp, the temperature has just gone through the roof. It gets hot. It gets muggy. You start sweating. You're like, what the heck is, why is it all, now it's all, and worse than that, it comes with a heavy rain again. But at least it's a hot rain. So you're wet, but you're not cold. If that's any consolation.
I don't know if that makes it better.
I think we're getting pissed on, guys.
So you pass the night. The night goes by uneventfully. Nobody has any concern or problem on their watch. You wake up the following morning, and it is the temperature's gone back to normal. Still pouring rain. Still freaking hot. Oh no, I apologize. It's still super hot, but the rain isn't quite as strong. So it's not like this downpour of rain constantly. It's more of just this light drizzle.
It's a mist.
Yeah. And again, at least it's a hot rain. It's not cold. So you're wet. But
Sweaty air.
But you're not. Yeah, it's sticky and uncomfortable, making the road rash a little worse. You guys aren't used to riding. The donkeys continue to be somewhat irritable and frustrated.
This is gonna mess up my chainmail, damn it.
I've got a wedgie.
It's just around.
You set camp the second night. It's not the greatest comfort, but it was functional. Essentially, you pass the rest of this time getting to where you expect to be, and it's uneventful. You don't encounter any difficulty or any problems. Aside from the weather is very uncomfortable. I'm gonna say it takes you, rather than the regular day of rations, you go through a little bit more. Some of it gets just kind of ruined by the water and the heat, and some of it's just a function of you need to eat a little more to kind of compensate or comfort yourselves or whatever. So let's say you guys go through 4 days of rations of whatever you had on hand, instead of the 2.5 that you should have used. But round about midday on the third day, Declan has... Sorry, I keep doing that. Tacklin has essentially led you to where he believes this temple to be. As you approach, it's interesting because it's not what you would think of when you think of temple. When you think of temple, perhaps you think of something modern, something carved, something built. This is actually carved into the side of a small rise. It's like you're kind of on the edge of a small mountain range. You sort of rose up into just the foothills or so, and there's this sort of not quite a cliff face, but something of a little bit of a sheer face that this temple is carved into, and it's essentially this beautifully elaborate doorway, and you imagine that there's there must be the temple must be actually inside this mountain or this cliffside. So you see it. You guys, I'm gonna say you guys are about a couple hundred feet away from it, maybe like about a football field-ish. Maybe 300 feet or something from the entrance. You kind of see it. It's pretty inspiring and interesting. The dwarves recognize pretty quickly that it appears to have been carved by dwarves, but it's pretty damn ancient. Like, probably like potentially thousands of years old. For sure, it's more than 500 for sure, and it could be a few thousand years old.
Right.
It's old as shit.
That's what I was gonna say.
Older than the dirt we're made of.
Aye. Well.
So, how would you like to approach?
Normally?
Yeah, I was about to say. Full charge.
Okay.
I guess we'll just continue at our normal pace. I mean, is there any sort of clearing in front of it?
I apologize because I forgot to change the music.
That's okay. I'm on my phone. I can't hear it.
I can hear it very faintly, but I'm not paying attention to it. Oh,
I turned it down because it distracts me.
Yeah, as we start to approach, I'm gonna keep my pace, but I'm gonna start keeping more of an active eye out for anything that looks abnormal.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anybody that wants to make a perception check.
Yeah.
So you guys approach. There are cracks of thunder in the distance. Stevie, you see that there's quite a bit of. It appears there's quite a bit of traffic here regularly, and actually, tackling. You can kind of tell as well that there seems like. It's pretty well worn. Like, the path leading to this place is pretty well worn. You get the sense that people from Felwick as well as Agick probably come here quite regularly. Maybe not lots of people, but someone's coming here fairly regularly and fairly recently as well. You'd guess within the last week, possibly 2 weeks at the most.
Right.
It looks pretty quiet. You do notice that there is a door, an actual door leading into the cliff. There appears to be.
How big is it?
It's fairly decent sized.
Like 20 feet tall?
Maybe no, probably more like 8
Okay.
feet. So it's slightly larger than average, but it's not massive.
Sure.
From this distance, you can't make too much else out.
Okay.
The carvings are fairly nondescript from this distance.
Well, I'll get closer. Then.
All right. Anyone else going with her?
Yeah, I'll come along.
I'll go with her.
Taking
I'm gonna stay a little bit back and keep an eye behind us.
riding on the donkeys.
How far off are we? I mean, at this point, we could probably just continue on foot.
Yep. All right. So you maybe dismount, keep walking. As you get closer, you see there's columns. Again, it's carved. It's pretty nice. It's very simple. Very simple. It's not overstated at all. And the carvings that you see seem more decorative than specific. They don't. It's not like someone's face or things like this. Um, it is
So it's in
raining.
between a Calvinist and Catholic church.
Something like that. It is still raining, which is kind of irritating, but you notice that if you get to the cliff face, you'll get the doorway is sort of recessed a bit, so you actually will get out of this damn rain.
All right, well, maybe put a little extra pep in this step and get there.
Yeah, so you guys kind of make your way across the remaining bit and approach the door. Now, as you get up, you notice that there is a carving around the doorway, and it says "Sewn into the skies, let the compass be your guide." It's written in Dwarvish, but that's essentially the loose translation. And you see in the door an image. Well, this is just very rough. But this is in the center of the door. There's no handle. You don't see any hinges. But you see this
It's
pattern.
just loading for me.
Let me see if I can do this.
Are the letters like movable?
Do you want to check it out?
Yes, please.
All right. So let me have an investigation check from anybody that's going to take a closer look.
Me.
There, I just put it in your Discord.
Oh.
Okay.
So that is one moment. My Wi-Fi failed, so now I am just streaming straight from my phone, so I'm gonna be a little bit slower.
Sewn into the sky, let this compass be your guide. North, east, west, south. In
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
proper
thinking.
placements.
So I have
all
a
that
natural
sense
18.
Okay, perfect. So you you look at these pieces, and there doesn't seem to be any way to like move the letters. They're carved. They're essentially carved in place. You had what was your roll? I'm sorry. 19? 18?
Natural 18.
18. Okay. It looks like the circles for the letters are about the same diameter as the circle, the four circles, the four smaller circles, let's call them.
Yeah. But the letters aren't movable at all.
Not that you can.
Like I couldn't try to like stick them into.
No, you
It
can't.
feels like it's a puzzle.
It doesn't seem like you can pull them out. They are kind of carved in place.
Push them.
Do they?
What are you gonna?
Can I push in?
What letter do you want to push?
Oh God. The north.
Okay.
Oh.
Just the N?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you push on the N, and it doesn't seem to move in or anything like that.
Do we need to do like
Do we
north? Do we need to push them all in like in a certain order? Because if it's a compass.
Well, what if we tried putting each of our hands on each one? So I put my hand on west, the location of west, and the W.
So there's a flash of light, and you maybe lift your hand, and you can see that there's a glow of W in the west position now.
Okay, I'll try that
Ooh,
with
I do
N.
that with the north
Okay.
Yeah.
because my hand's already on it. So I just reach and smack the north one.
So
Jumping.
you climb up on Brawlin's shoulders because this is like,
Got this.
Great.
and you do the N and the position at the top of the wheel is what I'm guessing.
Yep.
All right, the N similarly starts glowing with kind of this orangish yellow light.
Oh,
This is either going to explode or it's going to be great. Come on, guys.
Okay. Oh, I guess I'll do the same with south.
What's left? West?
Okay.
East.
Mm-hmm.
So you tap SS. As soon as you are touching both positions at the same moment, there's an S that glows, and the same thing happens with the East. You hear there's a momentary pause, and then and the door starts to shift and move. And essentially
I hold on to Brolin a little bit tighter. Oh, God.
Well, don't choke me, Boo-Boo.
I'm
door-
so scared.
the door
You're gonna be alright.
shifts out of the way and opens. And you see inside. Alright, I'm going to move you over. It's going to be probably a dark screen here for the moment. Yeah, so you don't have any. Okay, so just give me a moment. I have to populate your tokens onto here now. So, you see a dark hallway that leads out in front of you. I'm just putting you out here in any old order, so feel free to. And let's see. There's a trickle of light that comes in. Let me check something here. Nope. Yeah. Tell me what y'all see.
See a hallway leading to some doors.
Yeah. Okay.
To
Perfect.
this.
Do you all see that?
Sorry, also what now?
Hallway leading to doors.
Yes.
Does anyone not see that? Is that Stevie sees it as well? Are you seeing a hallway leading to some doors?
Do you see what I'm highlighting with my circle?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, I see the door.
Sweet.
Walk up to it, I guess.
Okay. Oops. Go ahead.
No, if
I
he's
wanna
gonna
check-
start walking, that's fine.
So
I'm gonna start looking for traps as we move forward.
I'm
yeah.
going to correct
I
something
will as well.
because
Skepticism.
let's see. I don't want it to do that. Oh, that's not. I don't want it to do that.
Morgan, that didn't sound like a good sound, but luckily I'm here.
Yeah, that's good because I got an 8.
I got an 18 again.
I have a 0 in intelligence, so yeah, that's good.
I have a
Me too.
-1, but jack of all trades. So.
Okay, so did it get dark for Any of you?
Yes.
Okay.
For me, it did.
Right. So that is
So I have
supposed
no
to be
dark vision.
how it is. Yeah, you have no dark vision.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
So those of you that have dark vision can easily see down this corridor. It's only like 30, 40 feet deep or long. There is some light trickling in from the outside. But it very quick the way the shadows are cast from the sun and the position of the sun and the time of the day, the light only trickles in a good 10, 15 feet. Beyond that, it's pretty dark. So you will probably need to create light in some way.
I should have taken something like that, but I didn't.
And I'm sure I have a torch, probably. I mean, I think I have an explorer's pack.
Yep, the
Yeah.
Explorer's Pack has torches in it.
All right, well then.
I have an entertainer's pack, so I am worthless.
I'm doing this for your benefit, but okay. Yeah, I'll take out my torch and light it for the one. I mean, Courtney.
Yay.
Boobo, we have to invest in some goggles of night vision for you at some
Yeah,
point.
that'd be nice.
All right.
Next time we're in town.
Dropping it.
I don't know how much they are. They might be a little expensive for us now, but we'll have to save up.
I will play music
All
until
right.
they
Who
give
is
it me.
so who's carrying the torch?
I will.
All right, perfect. So let me give you 20 and 20. Oops, that's me. 40.
Ugh, that's what I was getting up to get. Because it is cold in Minnesota.
It is. If I leave my room, it's 15 degrees colder outside of my room than it is in.
Let's see if that worked.
It is, let's see. It is
It
27
did work for
degrees
Gregory.
There you go. You can see it now.
currently.
So cold.
Mhm. 27 degrees, but it feels like
The
26.
the gnomes and dwarves have dark vision, so they can see quite clearly. All right, so now you have a torch going.
but at least I'm lucky.
Yeah. So you see, again, the corridor. There is a more simple. The corridor is more standard size. It's around 8 feet tall, to the ceiling, and the door at the far end is more of like a standard. You'd say a standard door, 6.5 feet or so tall, couple feet wide, maybe 2.5, 3 feet wide. It's a wooden door. It is closed.
Does it appear locked?
You can just check it out. Would you like to investigate?
I'd like just to try the door handle and see if it goes in.
It is unlocked.
Boom.
Uh-oh. I gotta catch up.
All right. What do I see in the next room? Or past the door, rather.
So you open it.
Don't do that. Don't
Yeah,
do
just-
that.
Doop, touch it. Open it.
Hold on one moment. Ah, this is always a pain. Sorry.
God, the rendering in this world is garbage.
Thank you. There we go. Now I can move it. That's what you see. So you crack the door open, and there is apparently a room behind it. It opens out. You can basically see what appears to be a 40 foot by 40 foot square room. There is a door, a similar door across the hall. There appear to be two hallways going to the east and the west. One going to the east, one going to the west. The stones are pretty smooth. Very nondescript. There aren't any carvings on the wall or anything like this.
Does the floor have any discernible differences? Are there any dust paths or anything?
Make a perception check.
All right. I'll do that. I won't. It's a 9.
Yeah, there's nothing that you can see. I probably should have had you make a.
Investigation would have been worse,
Yeah,
so
well, I was thinking
yeah.
survival is really more for tracking, but
Oh, yeah, that would have been even worse. Actually, yeah, I mean, that would have been a 7 total. So,
So we got these two hallways and then this door in front of us.
Don't mind me,
Like-
guys. I'm just walking around with my torch so I can see what's happening.
Yes. Same. I'm just gonna go right up to this next door. And is it ornate or anything like that?
the door in front of you, it seems pretty much similar to the one that you just encountered.
Sweet. I'm gonna open it.
All right. You do.
I'm gonna mark just on the floor like a line of chalk.
Okay, where do you want to do that?
Right there.
Okay,
The shitty line.
sure. It's good enough. All right. How are you opening the door?
Grabbing the handle and pushing in.
Pushing it. The door swings open.
Wanna definitely move it.
Baller. Oh shit! What is that?
What is what?
You see and you hear something.
Oh, yes,
There
I can't
appears to be, for one thing, you see something is giving off some light in the next room. You can't quite make out the shape of the room, but you do see some kind of flickering of light. You hear what sounds like the whistling of wind. You hear, the crackling of a flame.
These are quality sound effects right here.
Doing my best.
Hi, Sarah.
No, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And you hear like it sounds not quite as heavy sounding as the door when it slid across, but it sounds like rock sliding across rock. What would you like to do?
I would like to sneak up and shut the door.
Before we enter. He's like, no.
No. I am fully admitting that I have no courage.
You don't want to take a look.
Nope.
Could be what's making people disappear.
Well, I don't want to disappear.
I mean, that's fair.
Okay, I guess I'll go up part way, just far enough that I can kind of really start to see what it is ahead of me.
So you're reopening the door?
Yes. Here we go, guys. Here we go.
Are you
I'm
being stealthy
saying
about
right
it? Please be stealthy about it.
Okay, fine. I will attempt to be stealthy. Hey, I actually have okay stealth. Okay, so yeah, we'll just open the door and just kind of slip in.
All right, what's your stealth roll?
Uh,
Can I cast guidance on him as he goes through the door?
Sure.
how do I roll?
So
an
add a
extra-
d4 to that.
So /R.
That
Yay.
is a 10.
All right.
We're
So
trying.
I
you
tried.
take a few steps forward, and you see. It's hard to tell at first, not having much light, but it's almost as if there's a small, well, how do I want to say it? Let me just check something here. I need a little more
A
space.
dust devil of sorts.
You see, would describe it. You might describe it as a dust devil. You see It's as if there's a swirling shape of like outline of wind in standing in the room.
I doing?
Let me check something.
Okay.
I'm trying to hold that thought. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so did
sorry.
that did that let's see if that worked. No, that did not work. That doesn't do what I want it to do. Damn it, I'm trying to show you what it looks like, but
No worries.
let's try this. There's not an image popping up for you guys, huh?
Is it supposed to be?
Damn it.
I mean,
Do you
I
wanna
see.
just
I
throw
see a
on
little.
the
I do
Discord?
see a little icon down there.
Yeah,
That looks like a
let's
creature.
try that.
Yeah. Yeah.
There it goes.
Oh,
Yeah.
there.
I've seen that ever since
Oh.
I stepped.
God damn.
Hello.
So you see, when you stepped in, its quote unquote back was to you if it had a back, but you see sort of this as if it turns around, like the arms swivel a little bit or something, and you see hands, and you get this sensation that it is aware of your presence. So we're gonna go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh no. Ew.
The one thing it isn't necessary for, but I rolled a natural 20, which means I have a 19.
I forget how to roll initiative.
So on your sheet,
Mm-hmm.
you will find sort of in the center top, it will say initiative, and you just click. You have to click on your token first, and then
okay,
click on the
that's what I was
button
missing.
for initiative.
Oh, I just did off the character sheet.
Right, but you have to have your token selected in order to do it.
I had my token selected, but it didn't pop up. Maybe it will.
Well,
no,
let me open
Stevie.
that for you.
Yay, it's in there.
Yep, it
He's
sure
going
is.
last.
So
Here, I'll roll. That way it'll populate it. And then I'll fix it.
okay.
You all right, Morgan?
Yeah, I just got my pinky caught in the mini fridge.
Oh no.
Ouch.
In a mini fridge?
Yeah,
Girl,
it's right under
you
my
are living
desk.
your best life.
Yeah, my mom got it for her office at home, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't really need it right now, so why don't you just
Nice.
use it?" I'm like, "All right, I'm fine with that." So I have LaCroix and beer in my mini fridge.
Look,
Nice.
Roy, I love it.
I like how popular LaCroix has gotten recently, yet it's been in Minnesota for Forever.
It's been in Minnesota for forever.
All right, we're gonna
Is this the Minnesota company?
change up the mood here.
I think it's
if you're-
Wisconsin.
If you're listening to
That
music,
would make sense.
Oh, combat
we
initiative.
go. So everybody rolled initiative, right? Yes, I see initiatives.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's do descending order here.
Michigan.
So,
That is some pretty neat music.
you heard, Bubo, you heard, you heard Tackling go in, and so he kind of like, he went in and then stopped in his tracks. So I'm gonna kind of limit what you might be able to do. But you're at the top of the order.
Yeah.
So were you gonna go into the room as well? You don't see anything because, you know.
Because I can't.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to hold the spell Tasha's Hideous Laughter until I see something come closer.
A threat. All right.
Yeah, so I'm peeking my head through this doorway, like trying to look down, but I'm staying behind it.
Perfect.
Like my hand's on the door handle, and I'm just kind of looking.
Oh, Scooby-Doo style.
All right.
Yep.
So Tackling, you walked into this room and you see what can only be described as a small earth elemental. It is not large. It is medium-sized. But it is clearly, did I say earth? Air elemental.
Okay.
It's a spinning whirlwind of air that appears to have hands and almost like a rudimentary kind of face. And it looked at you and, or at least it oriented itself towards you. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna. Yeah, fuck it. We'll go balls deep. I'm gonna cast. How far is it? 60 feet?
So on the left-hand side, there is a little measuring stick that you can use.
50 feet. Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast Create Bonfire,
All right.
and I'm gonna put it right under the elemental.
Interesting.
So I need a deck save.
Let me pull up the spell myself so I can refer to it. Create bonfire.
I dig the Skyrim music.
I'm glad you like it.
Dragon Age.
This is currently, yeah, we're listening to Dragon Age 2. All free stuff. I love Roll20. They offer some good stuff. Dexterity save or D8 fire damage. All right, so it's making a dex save. So it saves.
Pretty sure that's a fail.
So with 21, it is okay. But there is now a fire on the floor. So let's get a fire. Bonfire, even. Let's see what's a good one. Sure, that looks cool. Let's see if that works. Boom, there you go. There is a bonfire on the floor. It's a 5 foot, right? Did it say
Yeah,
5 foot?
it occupies
5 foot
5
cube.
foot.
All right, there you go. Boom. Can you see that, guys?
No.
They can't, but
I cannot.
Yeah,
But yeah.
you should be able to. Oh, it's on the.
I-
Okay, sorry, I was.
Oh,
on the
there
wrong-
it is.
There it is. There you go. All right, so boom,
Yeah.
there's a bonfire on
And
it.
then with my bonus action, I'll cast Shillelagh.
Perfect. So your, what color is your magic?
I'm sorry?
What color does your magic take on? Like,
We'll say green.
okay, so your your quarterstaff starts to shimmer with this green scintillating light as you cast Shillelagh on it. And did you want to move?
Yeah, we'll charge in about the 25 feet
All
that I
right,
can go.
fantastic.
So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
All right, perfect. All right, Brolin. Tacklin has
All right.
gone charging in ahead of you. Cast a spell. You hear the flame erupt in the room. What would you like to do?
Damn fool. I'll start moving forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, so as you get forward, you now see, similarly, this elemental, small air elemental.
Okay. I am going to throw a sacred flame at it, which is, I believe, a dexterity save.
All right.
Is that popping up the full thing? Yeah. So, DC of 13. Ugh.
DC 13 wisdom saving throw, is it? I forget.
Dexterity.
Dexterity, okay.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Oh.
Sorry, he's doing pretty good
That's
here,
okay.
apparently.
Imagine that the air elemental is dexterous.
Dexterous. And I don't have any
Well, that's
bonus actions.
I also rolled a 19 and a 16, so those are pretty solid rolls there. No bonus actions?
Curses. I do not have any bonus actions, no, so that will
Alright.
be my turn.
Alright, so the air elemental is going to move, and I think it's just going to come straight at you, and, well, it's going to go ahead and do its thing. So it comes... it is going to come in and move into your space. And what that means is you have to make a... Well, here, I'm just going to do this for you. You got to make... It makes a whirlwind attack at you. So you need a strength saving throw, please.
Just straight strength, or can I use athletics?
Nope, it is strength saving.
just-
It's a saving throw.
Right, okay. 12? There you go.
All right, so you succeed. Okay, fantastic.
What did it
So,
try
so
to do?
it comes up. It tries to push into your space and tries to like throw you, but doesn't succeed. That's its attack. Let's see here. What else? Okay. All right. So the glow that you saw a moment ago starts to come into view.
Oh no.
Let me see something.
Damn it.
Oh, internet, please.
Oh, yay! That's fun.
And you see, well, you see, let me see if I can do this.
Fire elemental.
I can see this guy even.
Something like that. comes ambling towards you.
We should have kept this door shut.
Oops.
Uh,
Not sorry.
Similarly small. It is going to walk through your space. So it keeps walking towards you and past you.
Can I cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter at this point on it?
Yes, you can. As soon as you see it, I'll let you do that.
Yay. Okay. It needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right. All right. What was the
Where
DC?
do I find my spell save?
So it fails. I mean, it's not gonna on a 4. It's not gonna succeed.
No.
So
Oh, this would be on the fire one when the fire one got closer.
yeah,
Because it has to be within range.
yeah.
So it would've been
I
arrow.
forgot. I'm sorry. I forgot to change
Okay.
it, but that was still
Okay. No worries.
Yeah.
So
Apologies.
it falls prone and becomes incapacitated, unable to stand up for the duration.
Just
At the end of each of its turns, it takes damage. At the end of each of its turn, and each time it takes damage, the target can make another wisdom saving throw. The target has advantage on the saving throws if it's triggered by damage. On a success, the spell ends.
Oh.
So basically, it's just laying on the ground, gurgling flame. Or does it have an intelligence of 4 or greater? That's also important.
It has to be intelligent enough to laugh.
Yep.
Well, it's immune to being prone,
Oh, that's cool.
but
But it's not immune to being
I
incapacitated,
don't think
is
it's
it?
yeah. I don't think it is.
Because even that works for me. If it just basically has to miss its turn.
Yeah.
Prone just gives melee attacks advantage, so.
Okay. It is a creature. It's not immune to being incapacitated, but it can't fall prone. So I'm just going to say it gets stuck in place.
It's like stunned.
Yeah, essentially.
Just standing there laughing awkwardly.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, sure.
He's having a gig.
Okay. There you go.
Having a gig there, mate.
It gets
I'm helping.
it gets stopped in its tracks. So it's not going to continue. And all right. So it goes.
Oh, it would have been on this side of the air elemental. It would have been hanging out over here. Because that's when it would have gotten into range. So where it walked to initially is where it would be. It would be here.
Well, it should have been.
Because that's where you initially moved it to. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Tasha's range is only
30.
30 feet.
Yep. So I would have had to wait until it got to right here.
Okay.
Because that's where it initially went. I'm talking about the fire
The
elemental.
fire?
Yep.
Whoa, what's that big thing?
That's the water elemental looks like.
You are correct.
Oh boy.
So this guy washes across the floor, and there we go. Okay, so I missed some stuff there. So this guy wanders across the floor towards you, and basically it can get up to you, but it has no Let me see something. It's gonna try to do the same thing and try to move into your space. So I need another DC, or I need another Strength saving throw. Another 12, which is enough. So it cannot do what it tries to do. It tries to push into your space again, but you stave it off. All right, so maybe even quite literally, you start spinning the shillelagh around, and it can't get any closer.
Can't touch this.
And finally, Stevie, what would you like to do?
Stevie is going to. I can take my full movement and attack, right?
Yep.
And you can even
Get up
break up
there.
your movement if you like. So you can move 5, 10
And-
feet, attack, and then move another 5 or 10 feet, or whatever.
I'm just gonna go up to the fire elemental and try to attack it.
Okay. Are you maintain? Sorry, is Tacklin maintaining concentration on the bonfire?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, make an attack. 7 does not hit, so you slice out with your longsword. It's almost like it passed through air. Don't seem to connect with the core of the elemental.
Question.
Yes. Answer.
Are we doing flanking rolls?
Yes. So you
So that we
Perfect.
get
You
you
advantage.
should have advantage. Yes, that is correct. Thank you for
So
pointing that
roll
out.
again, Stevie.
If it hits, we're going to
With
take the
advantage?
9 slashing. No, just roll another attack, and we'll take that as yours. So,
Oops, I roll. Okay,
yeah, that's okay.
I roll normal.
So, 10 plus 4 is 14, which I believe actually does hit. Yes, a 14 will hit. So it'll take 9 slashing damage. So you do, in fact, because it is distracted or squeezed between you and your companion, it takes 9 hits, a solid swipe to its form. All right. Anything else? Bonus action?
Nope.
Fantastic.
No, but it can make a wisdom saving throw for
Yep.
the hideous laughter.
It surely will. Not
Nope.
enough. So it is still in its immobile space. All right. Effective. All right. Back to the top. 1 round complete. Boobo, what you gonna do?
When they come for you.
I'm going to. How far away is this? Okay, cool. I can still stay in the doorway. Awesome. I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery on the water elemental,
All right.
and
Can you click the spell for me, since you have it in there?
yes. One moment. Da. Bells, Vicious Mockery. Did that go?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
DC 13 Wisdom saving throw.
Yep. Okay.
Pardon me.
So it
Dang it.
succeeds. Oh, I keep forgetting that should have been the. Damn it.
The
That was the
water.
water elemental. I'm sorry I didn't change it for you. I will try to do that better. Water elemental. So it succeeds. So I don't think there's any effect, right?
Yep. I just sit here sad.
All right. Oh yeah, it's cantrip. Okay. So your cantrip fails. Movement, bonus action.
I moved over here, and I'm going to move over here.
No.
I'm staying out of the fray. I don't want them to see me. Or no, I'll stay by the door, but I want to be like looking around it. It's like this one's kind of closed, this one's wide open.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Kind of closed,
Very good.
wide open.
All right, Taklin, you got a couple elementals surrounding you at the moment.
Okay. Hmm. Too soon? Nah. Okay. Well.
Is anyone trained in Arcana? Arcana, if you prefer.
No.
No.
Not really.
Just
Okay.
religion.
Nope, just deception.
There's this air element that's still in front of me now. Yes.
Air, water, and fire are surrounding you.
I'm just waiting for the earth elemental to pop up and scare the crap out of it.
Right. That'd be something. Mm. Okay, so I'm gonna back up first 5 feet diagonally.
All right.
Hang on a second.
Better take attack of opportunity.
Yeah, I know. Let me just make sure this is the right thing here. Yeah. And then, yes, I'll make your attack, and then I'm going to move 5 back more this way.
Okay, so 2 attacks.
Wouldn't it just be 1?
Well, the water
No,
elemental and the
because you're moving
air
out of
okay.
elemental.
Okay, yeah, so, yeah,
So-
I'm sorry. No, that doesn't make sense. I thought I'd only get away with the 1. Okay, so never mind. I'm just going to stand where I am,
Okay.
and right from where I'm standing, I'm going to cast Thunder Wave towards the air
Nice.
elemental and the water elemental.
Sure. Perfect.
Alright, so I need con saves.
Yeah. All right. So here's the water elementals con save, and then we
It's a
will
fail.
do the air elemental. So it looks like they both fail. What's your DC? I think they both fail.
I think mine is like 13.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Yes,
I
13.
think that's for
So-
most of us at
Yeah,
this level.
It should be 12 or 13. So, all right. So they both fail. So they're both going to get pushed. And
Alright, so they both take. Oh, fuck. Check it. And they
damn,
both take. That was damn near max damage.
that was brutal.
They both take 15 thunder damage.
Yeah, that was pretty wrecked. They both their forms shimmer and shudder, and that definitely. Let me
Shouldn't the
double
air
check.
elemental
Let me
be
double
five-
check because one of them might be immune. So let me double check.
Shouldn't the air elemental be 5 feet farther back still?
Nope.
Oh, dang it,
it's
I thought
10
they
feet,
died
not
because they went off
15.
my screen.
10 feet.
Oh, it is 10 feet. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was 15.
Nope, that's all right. No problem. So he takes it, and yeah, they both take it. All right. So that hurt a lot. Oh, I think one thing I forgot to mention is if you want to use your sheet to track your hit points, if you click inside the red circle and then hit minus number or plus, not like literally type in minus, like this, in this case 15 or whatever, it will subtract that from what is in the token and track it for you. All right, so they both look pretty wrecked from that. That hurt a lot.
Get wrecked, son.
You bonus action?
Nah.
All right. Bro, so there's this deafening explosion of thunder in the I mean, everyone's ears is ringing right now as it reverberates through this small round room. You can just barely see Tacklin can just barely make out the fact that it is a round room, or appears to be. So, Brawlin, you're up. What would you like to do?
Okay, I'm gonna move forward 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're just gonna swing at him.
there be an attack from the fire elemental? Oh no, because it's incapacitated. Never mind.
Oh yeah, it's incapacitated.
That's a 22 to hit.
22
Missed
will
your-
definitely hit.
Aw, it's a 1 on the die though, so it's 4.
4 points of damage
Yeah,
with the battle axe.
yeah.
All right.
So it's slashing.
To the air elemental, yeah.
Yep.
It you slice through the center of it, and there's like a puff of almost like a and it and you see its form dissipate.
Awesome.
Great work.
Nice work.
And I think that's all we're gonna do for now.
All right. So, the air elemental is hosed. So, the next thing that happens is...
He rolls a wisdom save.
Oh, I apologize. I made a mistake. I forgot that it had to be unworked stone, and this is definitely worked stone. So, well, that I'm talking to myself because I was thinking about something. Anyway, from out of the ground, yes, in fact, an earth elemental pops up right next to you. Apparently was on another side of the chamber and moved through the ground. So, he comes up and he's going to try to slam you.
Uh-huh.
10
That
is
misses.
not going to hit. Too bad. That was max damage. Alright, so that's what the earth elemental can do. Fire elemental is going to make his... I keep forgetting to change these, so I'm just going to put it back to the DM, because otherwise I'll forget.
Yeah,
So,
that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
so the fire elemental gets to make another wisdom save. Is your DC's 13, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, it is still stuck.
So, question: do you play where you have to beat the DCs and ACs, or just match?
Match or better, yeah. Equal or better.
Mhm.
Okay.
Let's see. Same thing, yeah. Yes, DC
Yeah, tie
and
goes to
AC,
the runner.
correct. Tie goes to the, yeah, exactly.
So he does nothing. Who's next?
Yep.
He just laughs.
Watcher.
Gargles fire.
It's the water elemental. I was just checking something. It is going to come up and... It's also going to try to get back into brawl. Actually, yeah. I think maybe it's pissed
Do
off
it,
about that
you will.
thunder wave. Yeah, I think it's going to come back and try to get in on that. Uh-oh. Somebody's got a little... I hope that's not me. Reverb. So it's going to come up
might
and
be
try
me.
to slam
I was
on
adjusting.
the... It's going to try to slam on the... well,
Come on and slam.
Also, Morgan, for me, your video's been frozen for like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
nope.
Yeah, same.
All right.
my Wi-Fi's fucky.
It comes up and tries to attack and whiffs. Yeah, that's not going to do it.
There you go.
All right, Stevie, you're up. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna hit the fire elemental again.
Right.
Boop.
Okay.
Wait, don't you have advantage because it's incapacitated?
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
/ flanking.
You do have advantage again, so just roll one more time. Don't add advantage, just roll one more regular attack. We'll take the... Nope, so unfortunately this
Was it meant to be?
slices through. Did you hit the first time? As I think I made a mistake. Yeah, you did. You were supposed to take some damage from that, but I missed it, so you are fine. So somehow you danced out of the way of that. Alright, so you swing through it. This time it does, in fact, feel like you're cutting through air, not making a purchase. Would you like to use a bonus action?
No, I'm okay.
Alright. Okay, back to the top. Boobo.
Trying vicious mockery again.
On which
see
one?
how this one works.
Which one you
On
throwing it
the water elemental.
at? Okay.
Oh. So I need it to make a wisdom saving. Dang it, Gregory!
It is succeeds.
Crap!
Sorry. Anything else? Movement, bonus action.
I'm just gonna give it the bird as I like.
Right on. All right, Tackling, what are you going to do?
My turn. Okay. We got that water elemental in front of me. He's probably pretty rough at this point, isn't he?
He looks, yeah. He doesn't look like he's as solid of a form as it was.
I'm just gonna try to swipe at him.
All right.
Plus that's a 19.
Yeah, you can just click on the attack on your sheet.
I don't think I have it. I don't know if I have it added. Or more importantly, my quarterstaff right now doesn't reflect that I have Shillelagh on it.
Sure.
Does it give you a bonus to attack? I think.
Oh
it's
yeah,
just-
I mean on the quarterstaff it says +4 to hit, one target. But the thing is, the Shillelagh uses strength, or the quarterstaff uses strength. But when you're attacking with Shillelagh, you can use your spell casting
Dex.
instead,
Oh yeah.
and that's different.
Yeah.
And
You can
it
adjust
turns
that
into a straight D8.
later.
Yeah, so
If-
it's just
not
easier for me
now,
just to-
obviously, yeah, for sure. But if you ever use Roll20 again, you could set it up so that you could just make an attack called Shillelagh and set it all
Yeah,
up. And,
I'm just-
yeah.
Yeah. Plus.
But anyway, that hits. So roll some
and it
damage.
hits for
D8.
7.
All right. So that was against the water elemental.
Yes.
That
was
is
magical
exactly what you needed. So there's a splsh, and this like splash of water covers you and Brolwyn as it just dissipates and makes a puddle on the ground that quickly is absorbed into the rock. All right, bonus action
bludgeoning.
or movement.
Bonus action. Yeah, I don't think I have a bonus action. I'm good. Actually, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move up one space. I'm just gonna move up one space and call it good.
All right. Since it's incapacitated, it can't do anything. Brolin.
I'm gonna wreck it.
Gonna
Eh.
wreck.
14
To
hit
that.
the
what
rock
do you-
monster.
Oh yeah. That is exactly what you needed.
Ayy. That's better. That's a 10 for damage.
All
10
right.
slashing.
All right. So your sword makes a horrible sound as it crashes across the thing's torso. You take chunks out of it and probably zing up your weapon as well. Anything else?
It's a sword sharpener.
Well, it's a battle axe sharpener is what it is. No, that's all I'm gonna do for now.
All right.
So I'm good.
All right. It is the monster's turn. It will try to retaliate. That does not hit.
This is not going well for them.
No, it's not going well for them at all. Alright, Fire Elemental gets to make another save. Sooner or later here. Oh, it's gonna be later, apparently. He's dead.
That's literally the only spell I've had that's had any purchase.
Right? But it's been effective so far. Alright, Stevie, you're up.
Okay, so I just do a normal roll?
Yep. You no longer have advantage.
Oh! Critical hit miss. So, you go to take a swipe, and you drag your sword along the wall next to you by accident. Like, it's just this. You're like you kind of forgot for a moment that you're in this closed-in space, and it just down the wall and totally fumbles your attack.
Oh.
All right, movement or bonus action? Nope. Okay. Boobo, back to the top.
Alright. I'm gonna walk into right here. And I'm going to throw a dagger at the fire elemental and hope that this works better.
Hey!
Oh,
Nice.
all right. So
Pardon me.
that's all right. All right. It takes you find purchase in the middle of it. Your blade kind of passes through it and clangs off the wall behind it with a ting 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 as it
Someone
goes
grab that!
skittering. It is going to make another freaking succeed on its wisdom checks. Good God.
No,
Terrible.
no, that's okay, Gregory. It does not need to.
Yeah. All right. And
Yeah. I did something. I did damage.
so far, the only damage I should have done should have been some backlash damage against Stevie, and I forgot. So I still have done no damage to any of you all. It's pathetic. Tacklin, what are you gonna do?
What am I gonna do? Well, we have it's just the earth elemental now, right? Yes.
The fire elemental
and the
is
fire
The
elemental.
fire one is still
on
there, I guess.
lockdown, yeah, for the moment.
So I'm just gonna move up to the earth elemental, and we're gonna make a shillelagh.
Yeah.
Shalala.
Boom.
Boom,
That'll hit.
shakalaka.
All right, you knock some chunks out of it. Anything else?
That does her.
All right. Super. So you smash some of its form. It's starting to look like crumbly, like it's having a really hard time holding itself together. Brolin, you think you can probably end it if you can get a solid hit.
Alright. My roll 20 is being iffy right now, but I will move around it to be flanking with Tacklin. Ooh,
Sure.
that's a natural 20.
All right.
Get it.
Right on the first roll. So what do we do again?
You don't even need to roll, but it's max damage plus a die roll. So whatever you
Okay.
Are you using one-handed or two-handed?
Yeah, one-handed because I have my
So-
shield out. So
8
12.
plus your bonus plus whatever you roll.
Oh yeah, so 8, 11, 13 because I rolled a 1.
Which is way
Plus
more
3.
than you needed. The 3 that it had left, it disintegrates and dust. So you slice it and dust like just explodes all over the two of you. Pebbles go flying. You kind of like coughing as the dust cloud settles.
And that's
Bonus
my turn.
action? Yeah, all right. You have more movement. if you want it.
I'll step up.
You have
It
like
was
10 feet left, I
1,
think.
2. Well, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I could get to there.
Sure. All right. This is so funny. I generally don't use I prefer to roll actual dice. Like if I'm playing, I'm always gonna roll dice if I have the option. But I've found that like just saves a little time and it's kind of fun for you guys to be able to see it, I think. So yeah, miserable. It does not succeed. So Stevie, you have a chance to get rid of this fire elemental.
Fuck it up.
I think that is exactly what you need to hit. It is. So you
Get wrecked.
you slice through it and find that form, the center of it. You're gonna take you take 4 fire damage as your arm gets singed when you try to slice through it. And as you pass through it, burning your arm, you in fact slice it into nothingness, and it just, like a flame being blown out, poofs into non-existence.
Poof.
Yay! We
Wow.
leveled up.
So much for the apparently so those are supposed to be 1/2 challenge rating, right? Half of yeah, 1/2.
So I mean, this comes out to like a CR2.
That's what it should be, but I was also counting on 3 of you, not 4, so I might have
Yeah.
beefed it a little bit if I had that ahead of time, but that's all right. I had total
Cool.
shit rolls. You know, they could have done
Yeah,
a
I
lot
think-
more if they had gotten in your spaces and like you could have caught. Actually, you
Yeah.
might have caught on fire. So let's check that out right now. I think you have to make a saving
Yes,
throw.
light me on fire. Do it.
Oh no, you are on fire. So
Wait, why is
You
she on fire?
are
yeah,
on fire.
so you are currently burning.
Oh dear.
But it only takes an action to put it out. So, and there is one thing that you notice is there's a pool in the middle of the room, so you could easily run over and like dunk your arm under the water. So we're not
That big old
gonna,
puddle right there.
yeah. So we're not gonna
Yeah.
belabor that fact. So you guys successfully seem to have eliminated the central threat here. You take a moment
Do we wanna-
to catch your breath. What would you like to do?
Press forward.
All right.
Do we want to pause the game tonight, considering it's midnight where you are, Gregory?
Well, there's really not all that much left to do.
Okay.
So,
Sweet.
yeah.
Just
We
gonna
went
press
down the
forward.
correct hallway. Yay.
Yay!
Oh, look at all this stuff that I never saw before.
There you go.
Just gonna go straight down to this bottom door here and just boop. Great.
Yeah. All right. So the
Oh, is
the
that your
door
bonfire that you created?
all
Oh
the
yeah,
way to
draw
the
concentration
north.
on that.
Yeah, I'll clear that in a minute. Here, I'll get
Is that
it
a pool of water that I'm standing in?
There is
Go
a pool.
around.
So there is a pool of water at the center of the chamber.
Well, that's water. I thought it was like a textured marble. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this where we're
Do
going?
I see anything in it?
You do not.
Oh.
It appears to be a shallow pool.
Okay.
You do notice around the room bits of like what you guess might be incense and this kind of thing. There seem to be some kind of small offerings. There's a couple spots that are worn that you imagine it like people might be doing prayers or something like this, offerings or something like this.
Yeah.
Prostrations or who knows what. So there's signs that this is the probably where people come to meditate or seek guidance.
Sorry, everyone.
It's okay. Perhaps look
Ugh.
into the pool to see visions or something.
Okay. Very cool.
So, for the sake of brevity, why don't you all give me an investigation check? I will
15.
move
Ooh, 8.
these doors out of the way so you can just see what all is around.
Why is my sheet frozen?
Ooh, a natural
It's the
20
first
from
one for
Stevie.
me.
Nice.
Yay.
Okay, so y'all can pretty much move about the cabin at your leisure. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and take the save time and do this. See, let's click that and hit OK.
So wait, are we going this way?
Boom. So there you go.
Um.
I just illuminated everything for y'all. I think should
Oh,
have.
here's a loot chest down this way.
Okay, so you guys search.
Yes.
You guys search around. Basically, what you find. I'm gonna take off. Okay, hold on. I gotta do one more button to make it all visible.
There's a chest.
See if that did
I'm
it.
gonna go
Boom.
over
All right,
here.
there you go. So
I
if you
can
zoom out,
see.
you can see the whole map. So you take some time, and especially with Stevie taking the lead, she kind of has this somehow natural sense about this. She's like, this is symmetrical. I know what's going on here. And you wander around, you find two chests. You check them, they don't appear to be locked or trapped. And when you open one, you uncover, and there is a group loot. If you want it, use it. So there's a bunch of coins, 1,900 copper, 1,200 silver, 110 gold. The other...
1,200 silver,
Mm-hmm.
110 gold.
Yes.
Okay.
The other chest had 5 gems. You guess they're worth about 50 gold pieces each. There is a small pouch with some dust in it, some form of dust in it. There are 8. We'll call them. Does anyone have a crossbow or a bow?
Nope.
Nobody had ranged, so we'll call them arrows. 8 arrows, and you also find what you will determine to be, after a short rest, a bag of holding.
Ooh.
Fancy, fancy schmancy.
So after taking some time, you didn't really need the rest, but you can take some time determining what that item is and use it to gather up the coins. And if you would like, bring it with you. I
don't know how I feel about doing that.
All right.
I'm going to take all the things.
Yeah, taking things.
You do find that there are the remains of some peoples in here.
Ugh, not
Uh,
taking that.
Yeah, not much. Most of them appear to have been smashed,
Consumed.
burned, or otherwise, annihilated by the elements, essentially.
I'll essentially gather them in one of the chambers and perform
Funeral rate.
Sure.
funeral rite, essentially.
Okay, so you take them off to one of these, one of the side chambers, thinking that that's probably more respectful, and do say prayers and so forth.
I can go with, because then I can cremate them. On a funeral pyre.
All right, and you don't see anything else. You can't find any, secret doors. Nothing seems to be lurking anywhere else in this small temple, and you gather that you've kind of done the deed and cleared the space.
All right. Well, let's head back to town and report.
Let's do it.
So when you return
Doing the
to
thing.
when you return to Winnie, what would you like to tell her?
And
It looked
Party
like
face, where are you?
it looked like there were some elementals creating this havoc inside of a sanctum, and we slayed them. Now
So-
everything is great.
So on your way back to the town, I should say this.
Please tell me the weather got better.
Actually, it did not.
Oh no.
There were similarly, these, it'd be crazy hot in the morning, super cold in the evening, or vice versa. Like ridiculously hot. Maybe the second night it was like swelteringly hot. And then during the day, it's like you practically need winter clothes. Same thing with the rain, on and off. You actually had some snow at one point, and this is like late in the summer. It's not even you haven't even moved into autumn yet. You're still not clear what is going on, but it's safe to say that the elements seem to be out of whack.
Then we are going to report that the elements stayed out of whack, and that she led us to a very dangerous place that did nothing for this adventure.
Please castigate her more.
it's not Winnie's fault.
Yes. She's like, well, thank you.
I'm putting all the fault on Winnie. I was scared crapless.
Well, okay. She kind of signs a ledger and tells you to go see the money changer, to take to collect your pay. She hands you a slip to each of you, and she says, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll report that further investigation is probably required, but that at least the Temple of Guidance is clear." And she gives you a questioning look.
Yes.
Yes.
And safe.
Probably.
Yes.
For now.
Very, very well. So she kind of finishes quickly scrawling this letter off and rolls it up, throws a seal on it. Well, if that's all, thank you.
Thank you.
And, well, hopefully it's not too anticlimactic, but that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Yay, level 2 adventures!
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, I thought that would be a whole lot more challenging. Yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes. If I had some
Hey,
better
I
rolls,
was still
It's
nervous.
just those bad rolls, man.
well, that's the
Yeah.
whole point of it. If it felt challenging, that's all that really matters. If oh shit, elementals, right? So,
Right.
Well, I was like, oh shit, elemental, and then it was like, oh shit, all 4 elementals. I was like, nah, I'm
yeah,
gonna stay back here.
those are just little babies.
Little
Yeah.
babies.
Yeah, I should have thrown the level 2. Because those are, like I said, those are 1/2 CR. I have some stats for level 2 CR. That probably would have been a little more of a challenge. Actually, a lot more of a challenge and more appropriate, probably. But I'm afraid that would have been overwhelming too. And I threw it together so fast I didn't quite have time to do that. So
It was fun.
anyway,
So,
hope you-
what's going on with the weather?
you don't know.
Maybe
We
we'll
need to
find
fix
out
this.
sometime in the future.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps
cliffhanger.
if we have another chance to give it a go,
Must
then
play
we'll
again.
do a little.
Must play D&D
I know,
all
right?
the time.
Well, there you have it. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that silly one-shot in the Kingdom of Agick. We certainly had fun playing, and hopefully we'll see some more adventures with the short stacks in the near future. So stay tuned for that. As always, I appreciate you stopping in and checking us out. Hey, it only takes a second to give me a thumbs up, like the video, and pass it on if you feel like it. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this fun little bit of D&D silliness. So I hope to see you at a table someday, and in the meantime, as always, keep rolling 20s.